Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The City of Lloydminster is dishing out its annual street improvement program this year with some key changes. The street improvement program was discussed at City Council. The program oversees yearly replacing, maintaining, and rehabilitating of roads around the city. This year, residential roadways are the top concern.
The most traffic, the heaviest traffic, and lots of volume, so they often get the priorities, and those are the ones that get or should be addressed first. But the reality is there's also roadways that are deteriorating in our residential networks that maybe don't see as much traffic, but they're part of the roadway system.
The 2024 locations that will be improved as of now are 29th Street between 54th and 55th Avenues, and 55th Avenue from 29th Street to 30th Street, and 30th Street from 54th Ave to 55th Ave.
Or provide two programs, one for kind of the main arterials and collector roads, and then one for the smaller residentials that don't get much traffic, so that then there is an emphasis and some rehabilitation done on those roads that may get overlooked for many years because they're just not as busy as the main routes.
Construction is anticipated to start this spring and end by mid-July. 3 Lloydminster firefighters were recognized by the County of Grand Prairie yesterday. Richie Chua, Justine Boisson, and Annie Forey received an award from the Grand Prairie Fire Chief Trevor Grant. It was to recognize their efforts to help the county dealing with the wildfire last May.
Dunes West Fire started back in May 5th, 2023. It was really taxing for our department. The resources that we typically rely on each other were all tasked fighting fires. So when we asked the province to send us resources to come and support, and Lloydminster answered the call, came out and did a great job supporting our actions fighting the wildfire in the Dunes West.
Justine Boyson did not expect to get the award, but she said they are proud to help the county.
Definitely an unexpected thing. Didn't realize it was something that we were going to be getting. It's definitely appreciated, and it just makes you feel grateful the fact that the community that we went to help, that they recognized that we were able to come out there, and it just makes you feel good about the work that you got to go and do. So.
And with the current wildfire season, Boyson said that they are willing to step in again whenever they're needed to help other communities. A fundraiser is coming to Lloydminster supporting the sexual assault services with a unique hockey card show. Our Callum Hawker with more.
I'm joined by Chris Brinklow as he is the event organizer of the fundraiser for the Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services and with the Border City Card Show. Chris, thanks so much for joining me today. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. It's hard to believe that the show is only, days away, and we are getting closer and closer. And I'm rather excited because this is going to be a big show. It's our biggest one yet.
So, Chris, tell me a bit about the fundraiser, the show, and helping out a great cause as well.
Yeah, the Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services. I don't know if you've ever been to their building, but it is an aging building, but it is it's a beautiful building inside. It's very welcoming for the victims and for those that are affected by abuse. They can come in, feel at peace. It's very calming for them. But the organization itself really kind of falls short with some supplies sometimes, because they're just so busy. There's a waiting list and staffing. They're all out, and it's great for them. Fantastic. I just want to be able to help out where I can. And what better way? Something I'm very obviously passionate about is sports and hockey, and I'm a hockey card collector myself. So why not put on an event? And this is our 3rd event. We started last year. We had a show at the mall. We had about 28 tables there. And then we moved to the Rolling Green because we needed some more space. Had about 38 tables there. Now we're at the casino, Gold Horse Casino, and we are at 50 tables. So we have pretty near doubled from last year's show at the mall to where we are today. And it is just because Lloydminster is kind of a hotbed right now for card collecting, sports memorabilia collecting. And a lot of people are just showing up and it's fantastic. People are spreading the word. Collectors are. I didn't have to advertise for tables this show. I just had people call me. Hey, Calvin gave me your number. So and so said it was a great show, and then next thing you know, I have 50 tables, and yeah, we're doing a lot of great things for how to raise the money. We have a door. There's a cost at the door: $5 for adults, teenagers, $2. Kids 6 and under or 5 and under are free. So the proceeds from the door are going to go to the sexual assault services. We also have an auction, or sorry, a raffle that's taking place. And we had our great friends over at Classic Oilfield Services buy a Series 2 hobby box. Now, for those that don't collect and maybe not sure what the significance of that, there's a little kid out there playing hockey right now named Connor Bedard. And this Series 2 can potentially contains, well, it has his rookie card in it. And that is the highly sought after card of the season right now. So Bedard is where it's at. And so his rookie card right now, as of today, is selling for about $500 to $600 on eBay. So, I mean, we're doing a raffle, $10 of tickets for that. And if you win that, you get a chance to maybe potentially pull a Bedard and get your money out of that for sure. There's a lot of other great sponsors. If I can just go on real quick, we have our friends over at Ivanhoe Motel who have taken care of accommodations for some of our far traveling vendors, people from Medicine Hat and up in Grand Prairie, people from Regina. They obviously don't want to come and drive back and forth the same day. So Ivanhoe Motel has really chipped in. So we want to thank Tony and his wife for everything they've been doing for us. And I know I'm going to miss a couple of sponsors here. So I'm just going to take a quick look at my phone. But Superior Water, they have contributed to what is a family night out. So they bought a Montana's gift card. And then there's also a bowling pass. So family can go for supper, go for bowling, all compliments of Superior Water. We have Gold Horse Casino. Even though the event is being held there, they're actually comping the room for us because they want us to be able to raise as much money as we can for the event. So in order to save us from paying for the show, paying for the room, they have spared us the cost of the room and all that much more money we can put towards sexual assault services.
Awesome, Chris. So you said that the event and fundraiser will be at the casino. When will it be? What day and what time? When should people show up?
March 23rd is the day, 11 to 5. And I certainly cannot forget a huge part of this. We have former NHL goalie Ben Scrivens coming to do some autographs. Now, Ben has played with a few Canadian teams, so he's obviously played with the Oilers. He was drafted by Toronto and played half a season there. He played with Montreal. He also played with the LA Kings. So Ben is a very well-known NHL goalie, just retired about 10 years ago or so. He is coming. He'll be there from 1 till 4 o'clock. Autographs are free, but we will be also still, raising money for sexual assault services. So we'll have some hockey cards to purchase if you don't bring your own, item for him to sign. So it's going to be packed. 50 tables in there. We had the bridal show there last month, and we had 29 tables, and that was full. So 50 tables is huge, but we laid out we did the layout of the room, and it's going to fit. And I'm just really excited for it. It's going to be a great time for the family to come down, whether you are chasing a Bedard or you just want to finish a set from the 90s or the 80s, or you want to trade in. If you have some cards that have been sitting in your garage, or maybe you're one of those people that leaves cases of Wayne Gretzky rookie cards in your basement, I don't know. But if you have something you want to have checked over, we have PSA is going to be there taking submissions for gradings. So maybe you can get your card graded and have it come back as a PSA 10, which is obviously the ultimate. But it's just going to be a great event throughout the whole day, from 11 till 5 at the Gold Horse Casino on March 23rd. And It's all the proceeds of the day are going to go towards Lloyd's Sexual Assault Services. I'm not taking any money off this. This is all for them, and we just want to give back to the community, and we want to make sure our sponsors, know that what the donations that they've given to us are going to go a long way as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. This sounds like a great event that you're putting on for an even better cause. So thanks again for your time today, Chris.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Abby St. John joins me now with the weather. And Abby, it's been so nice and mild. What's coming up for us?
We're staying kind of at that same temperatures, a little higher, a little bit lower. We did see a little bit more of an overcast day out today. I think that's going to be into tomorrow as well. But we're hopefully getting some sunlight on Thursday. But today, despite the overcast, it was still a very nice day out. 0 is what we're sitting at currently, but it feels closer to -6 with the wind chill. And again, like I said, we had an overcast day. A little bit on the windier side, 24-kilometer-per-hour wind, so it wasn't definitely not as nice as it was yesterday, but it was still not too bad of a day. And then current temperatures across Alberta, 2 degrees in Provost, Vermilion, and St. Paul, 4 in Wainwright and Edmonton, 3 in Vegreville, Bonnyville, and 5 in Cold Lake. Lac-La-Biche is sitting at 7. In Saskatchewan, 1 degrees in Isle Cross and Maidstone, 3 in Pierceland and Macklin, 4 in Green Lake and Meadow Lake, 2 in St. Walburg, and 0 out in North Battleford. Overnight tonight, North Battleford will drop down to just -6. Overcast as well, 17-kilometer-per-hour winds. There's about 25% chance of some precipitation as well. Because then into tomorrow, it rises to 65% chance of the occasional snow and flurry. But it will be mainly in the morning, and it shouldn't have much, if any, accumulation of snow. -1 will be the daytime high with 11-kilometer-per-hour winds. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake, the clouds will start to clear up as the evening goes on. 13-kilometer-per-hour winds, and there's about a 25% chance of some precipitation. And then tomorrow will be a partially cloudy, partially sunny day out with a daytime high of +2. So it should be a very nice day out tomorrow in Cold Lake. 9-kilometer-per-hour winds as well. Overnight tonight here in Lloydminster will drop down to -7, mostly cloudy, so those clouds will still remain into tomorrow as well. 15-kilometer-per-hour winds, and then also a 25% chance of some precipitation. I don't think we will have much, if any, at all, but there is still that 25% chance. And then tomorrow, to break down the day, 6 a.m. again, cloudy all throughout the day is to be predicted. It will be around -5 around 6 a.m. 13-kilometer-per-hour winds. It's not going to be too windy of a day tomorrow. -4 around noon. And then -2 around 6 p.m. into the evening, and then back to -4 around midnight into tomorrow. And then over the next 3 days, like I said, a daytime high of -1 and a low of -7 for tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we get some sun peeking through those clouds with a high of +3 and a low of -7. And then things will warm up a little bit more on Friday and a little bit more sunny as well, but it will be windier. But we'll have a daytime high of +7 and a low of -7. So we have that to look forward to in the next couple of days and into the weekend. That is a first look at your evening weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
The Lakeland Rustlers women's volleyball team has defended their CCAA title and returned home with another gold medal. Our Thomas Wildman has more on the incredible run they've had.
For the second year in a row, the Lakeland Rustlers women's volleyball team is the best college volleyball team in all of Canada, not dropping a single set in the CCAA national tournament.
Just excitement. And being so proud of my team and everything that we've done this year over the past 2 years. Couldn't ask for anything better. We are a family, and we went out there and we did the dang thing, so very excited.
A fantastic finish to the year for the Rustlers and their 2 graduating players, Jana Lang and Kaylee Lueck, who have now officially finished their collegiate careers.
Yeah, I feel like we all peaked at the same time and at the right time, especially. The first semester was a bit of a grind and there was a lot of role changing happening. And so then the last few games, I feel like we all just got out there and we all played freely and we all just were enjoying ourselves. And I feel like our main goal was just to get out there and showcase like how good we are and how much fun we can have. And we did just that, so it's perfect.
While the departure of the main setter and tournament MVP Jana Lang, as well as elite middle and one of the leaders of the team, Kaylee Lewick, the Rustlers still have a strong core of veterans and plenty of young talent that can draw in and hopefully be able to pull off the three-peat.
We're in a really good spot. We have players that are going to have to move into those roles and those spots, and but with everybody that we're returning, we're going to have a legitimate shot. There's no question about that. Our three outside hitters, so Janae Varga, Lana Matthews, and Avery Bates, are all set to return, and they would be in the conversation for three of the best outside hitters in the country in college. And so, when you have weapons like that, you just got to fill the other pieces in.
With the 2 CCAA wins over the last 2 years for the Rustlers, the ACAC will get 2 teams to qualify for nationals, with the silver medalists getting a wild card spot for next year's tournament alongside the champions as usual. A great boon for the Rustlers to once again defend their national title. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, Local News.
It's time now to have a look at all of the cute pet pictures that you've been sharing with us.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we have the handsome Guapo here, and he's been here, I think, since December. Yeah. So tell me about his story and how he came to be and what his personality is like.
Yeah, so Guapo came into the shelter in December as a stray from the city of Lloydminster, if you can believe it. He's been with a foster home for quite some time now, and he's been doing really well there. They have dogs of all sizes, so they've got Chihuahuas up to Great Danes. So he's quite well-rounded with being in a home with other dogs. Mm-hmm. He's good with cats as well, as long as they're dog-friendly. We do think he'd be fine in a home with kids, mm-hmm. as long as it's an active home that's going to keep him well exercised. But once he's had his exercise, he's pretty chill like this, where he just wants to hang out or lounge on the couch, mm-hmm. and just get all the cuddles. But yeah, he's quite food motivated as well. He did have a little bit of food possessive tendencies when we first got him, but his foster home has been working on that diligently. Guapo, turn this way so everyone can see you. Come here. There you go.
I think he's a little camera shy now, yeah. Which is a little out of the ordinary.
He wasn't before, but...
No, he is a real sweetheart. We came in, he didn't bark. He got really excited, but you were able to wrangle him in, and he was able to calm down after like a few seconds of us like actually walking in, and we were able to go up to him.
And especially a puppy, like he's quite young still. He's only 7 months old, so.
And like you'd expect him to jump right up, and he kind of started to, but then when you told him to sit back, he listened, which is really mm-hmm. good, and it goes to show how much work he's been and how smart he is too, which is awesome. Now going off of adopting animals from the shelter, starting next week you have an adoption event. Tell me about that. Give a little preview of what people should expect for that week.
Yeah, so at PetSmart, we're doing a full week of National Adoption Week with them. So we're going to have dogs and cats on site the whole week from the 18th to the 24th. So it starts the following Monday and ends on the Sunday. and we'll have staff and volunteers on site. We'll be there to tell you about our animals. We'll have our adoption binder there for you to look at photos, but we'll also have some actual animals in person. They always house cats for us, and we're also going to bring some dogs and extra cats for you to check out. So it's going to be a good event, especially if you're considering adding an animal to your family.
Yes, very exciting, and it's great that you guys are starting up on those adoption events. And obviously National Adoption Week is very, very important across the country. So that's awesome that you guys are taking part, and it's hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get the numbers down next week. Now the kennels are fully built and they're all up in operation. So tell me about that process, and now that it's finally done with the cats and the dogs.
Yeah, so the adoptable dogs room is done. We are going to be probably looking at putting in some extra lights because it doesn't allow as much light as the chain link did. But now that they are built, it's easy for us to sanitize. It'll be a little easier for the public to be able to interact with the dogs in a safe way because they can't, fence fight or anything like that if they were to get out of a kennel. So it's a much better setup, easier for our staff to sanitize, and great for the dogs, a little more calm for them so that they can't see each other and get worked up from each other's energy. So a much better environment and better setup for them. And we're hoping to have our playground backyard area worked on in the spring. So once that comes, we will be totally set up.
And same question as every week, is there any donations that you're in need of?
Yeah, so as always with our puppies growing bigger and their mom needing some extra food, we are needing canned dog food still. Also cat kibble, we'll still take donations for that for adult and kitten. And right now we don't have a ton of kittens, so more adults is what's needed. And also if anyone's interested in donating, we are in need of purchasing some more cat litter pans, so the plastic litter pans. They can be covered or uncovered, but we can definitely use those, and the cats will be very grateful.
And finally, at the mention of the puppies, just want to give a little weekly update as we have the past couple weeks. How are they doing, and how is their mama doing?
She's doing good. She is starting to get to a point where she kind of needs breaks from them as they get bigger, which all us moms do. They're roly-poly. They're growing really well. They look really healthy. They're good and chubby, and definitely enjoying their wet dog food mashup that the staff has been making for them. So they definitely are good little eaters, and we're starting to see their individual personalities more as they grow. So it's been fun watching them get bigger, and we will be looking for foster homes and hopefully maybe foster to adopt homes in the near future once they're old enough to leave their mom.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear more about it, and once they get into that age where they can be fostered out. But Guapo did fantastic. He's such a sweetheart, and he for sure will make any home a happy home.
Yeah.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I am meeting today with Diane Beer, an author and mystery writer of some acclaim in Canada. And I have to admit, I have not read any of your work, but the whole preview of your book that I got from your publicist looks very, very promising and very interesting, and I think it's hooked me in. So what can you tell me about Written in Stone, your latest book?
Written in Stone was one of those stories I actually wrote years and years ago, and recently I kind of had a parting of ways with my publisher, and I've started self-publishing my books now. So Written in Stone is the first one I've self-published. And it basically is the story of Allison, who is a romance novelist who gets an invitation to go to Vancouver Island and be a writer in residence. But she also finds out as the father she thought was dead like 20 years ago is actually alive, and he's in the same area. So she goes out on this mission to become a writer in residence and ends up stumbling across an entire family she didn't know existed.
Wow. So I understand that this is the first in a series that you're going to be writing about this. Do you already sort of have it fleshed out and decided how many books there are going to be in the series, or is it sort of?
I think for this one, there's going to be 3 books. That's tentative, but I always say that, and then all of a sudden there's 5 or 6. So I have a couple other series that have ended up with 5 or 6 books. So tentatively, I have 3 books that I've sort of planned. I kind of know what's going to happen. I haven't laid everything out yet, but I have a pretty strong idea.
So at the time that you came up with the theme of the book, what was your inspiration?
I think part of it was I'm a lot like Allison in a few ways, like being a mystery writer, trying to get your name out there, wanting to, be one of those people who can stay home and write full time and all of that. And that kind of got me started. And I can't remember how it came up, but having her father, that he was still finding out he was still alive, and then having to find him and figure out that sort of thing, it all just kind of grows from starting to write. Like, I'm not one of those people who plots every little detail out. I just start to write, and all of a sudden the story comes out.
Excellent. Well, that's sort of how I write as well. I have a central idea, and then I just sort of flesh it out. So those are my only questions for you, Diane. Are you going on a book tour at all with this book?
I wish I could. Being not one of those people who can stay home and write, I actually have to work. But I am going to a couple different conferences. There's a conference in Lethbridge in April, WordBridge. And then there's also When Words Collide in Calgary that's coming up. And I signed up for that as soon as, before it even ended last year. So the other place I may go, I'm not sure yet, is Wine Country Writers Festival in Penticton, which I went for the first time last year, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay, well, excellent. Well, look forward to seeing the other books in the series to come. And thank you very much for your time today, Diane. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that is all that we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a good evening.